Hey, I'm getting on here because it is almost the new year, and so many of you are making new year resolutions. So often we make these big, grand goals to improve upon things like fitness or our finances, or we're going to read the entire Bible in the year. And then some of us set goals that have to do with attributes or personal characteristics. We want to improve on maybe being more generous and giving with our time and our money this year. Maybe others of us want to be more self-controlled, and then some of us want to be more patient. Maybe we want to be more patient at work, or patient with our husbands or wives, or maybe with our kids. We want to be more patient at home with our kids. And we find that a couple weeks in, maybe a couple days in, we're crashing and burning with these goals that we had just established, and we want to know why. And it made me think about Paul. Paul talks about knowing God's law and delighting in God's law in his innermost being, but then at the same time having his sinful desires waging war in his members against the law, and that he continues to do what he doesn't want to do, and he doesn't do what he knows that he should do. And that's what I thought about when we set these goals to improve on things like being more patient or kind or loving or just joyful amidst all the really bad circumstances that have surrounded us, like 2020. Maybe you want to go in 2021 being more joyful and at peace no matter what goes on in 2021. And then when we're not joyful or we're not at peace and we can't just produce this fruit, try as we might, or bear that fruit in our life, we want to know why. But it's because in our innermost being, we have sinful desires that are constantly in conflict and waging war against the Spirit, that on our own, we are not those things. Chelsea Tolson on her own is not joyful. She is not at peace. She is not a kind person. She's not patient. She still struggles with being patient, even with the Holy Spirit in her. But I'm just not these things. You're not these things. We're not these things. And our sinful desires are constantly waging war against those things. They don't want to be patient and loving and kind and self-controlled. But the work of the Holy Spirit in our life is to bear those things. So even though we can't on our own in 2021 be more self-controlled and be more patient and be more joyful no matter what happens, that when we have the Holy Spirit in our lives that the Lord has given us as a safety deposit, that we can be those things. That the more we chase after Jesus, the more that we believe and have faith that the Holy Spirit is working in our lives to produce that fruit, the more we just keep in step with the Spirit, as Paul says in Galatians 5, that's when we start to produce those things. And that's when it's evident in our lives that it's not that things that we have to try to do and try to be and try to produce, that it's things that just naturally come from the Holy Spirit producing that in us. The closer we follow after him and the closer we chase after Jesus. So you might not be able to be a more patient person in 2021 or be more joyful or more at peace in and of yourself. But the more you chase after Jesus in 2021, the Holy Spirit can produce those things in you. So just keep in step with the Holy Spirit in 2021.